Imagine this: a young boy in rural Japan, barefoot, covered in dust, chasing after the sound of a sputtering engine echoing down the dirt road. He stops, eyes wide, mesmerized as the foreign machine rattles past. That boy had never seen a car before. It was noisy, smelly, and unlike anything he'd ever known. But in that moment, something sparked inside him. That boy was Soichiro Honda, the man who would one day transform that fascination into one of the most powerful automotive empires in the world. Yet his journey was anything but smooth. It was filled with rejection, poverty, humiliation, war, and heartbreak. But what made Soichiro Honda remarkable was not that he avoided failure. It's that he embraced it, learned from it, and turned every setback into fuel for his vision. Soichiro Honda was born in 1906 in a small rural village in Shizuoka Prefecture, Japan. His father was a blacksmith and bicycle repairman, while his mother wove cloth. Life was simple, but money was scarce. Honda grew up in a family that lived off hard work, not luxuries. From an early age, he was drawn to machines. He loved watching his father repair bicycles, fascinated by the gears, chains, and the rhythm of tools clinking in his father's hands. His childhood playground wasn't filled with toys. It was filled with scraps of metal, broken parts, and endless curiosity. When Honda was still a boy, he saw his first car, a Ford Model T, roar through his village. The strange contraption, unlike anything the villagers had ever seen, left him speechless. That moment changed him. He decided then and there. One day, he would build machines like that. Not just ride them, not just fix them, build them. But dreams are rarely handed over easily. Soichiro Honda was not a good student. In fact, he often skipped school to tinker with machines. He once joked that the only time his teachers praised him was when he made an ink stamp of his family seal out of a rubber shoe sole, a clever prank that nearly got him expelled. But behind the jokes was a truth. Honda wasn't interested in textbooks. He was interested in engines, wheels, and machines. At just 15 years old, he left home and traveled to Tokyo, chasing an apprenticeship at an auto repair shop. Life in Tokyo was harsh. He had little money, worked long hours, and often lived in cramped conditions. But Honda didn't complain. He soaked up every ounce of knowledge, watching mechanics, experimenting with engines, and pushing himself to learn. He didn't just want to fix cars, he wanted to understand them from the inside out. By the time he returned home at 21, Honda had become a skilled mechanic. He opened his own repair shop, fixing cars and motorcycles. But repairing wasn't enough. He wanted to create. He wanted to leave his mark on the world. So he began experimenting with piston rings, a small but vital part of an engine. He worked day and night, pouring his soul into designing better ones. Convinced of his invention, he applied to become a supplier for Toyota. But the result was devastating. Toyota rejected him. They told him his designs were poor, his products substandard. For most people, that would have been the end of the dream. But for Honda, it was fuel. He enrolled in engineering school, though he dropped out before graduating. Instead of dwelling on rejection, he studied metallurgy and manufacturing relentlessly, determined to improve. Years later, with better designs, Toyota finally accepted its piston rings. What began as humiliation had turned into his first breakthrough. But fate wasn't done testing him. Just as Honda's business began to grow, World War II erupted. His factory was bombed twice, reducing everything he had built to rubble. When that wasn't enough, an earthquake later destroyed what little remained. Imagine pouring your entire life into building something, only to watch it get wiped out again and again. Most people would have quit. But Honda wasn't most people. He rolled up his sleeves and started over. With Japan in ruins after the war, gasoline was scarce. People struggled to get around. That's when Honda spotted another opportunity. He salvaged tiny engines meant for military radios and mounted them onto bicycles. The contraptions looked odd, noisy, and crude, but they worked. People could now travel farther, faster, and with less effort. Demand exploded. Honda's little motorized bicycles were a hit. That small idea became the seed of the Honda Motor Company, founded in 1948 with his partner Takeo Fujisawa. Together they built not just a company, but a vision to provide affordable, reliable transportation for ordinary people. Honda was not interested in making luxury machines for the elite. It wanted mobility for the masses. But even as the company grew, Honda never lost his playful spirit. He was not a traditional Japanese businessman. He wore short-sleeved shirts when others wore suits. He got his hands dirty on the factory floor. He laughed loudly, joked with workers, and demanded innovation above all else. He once said, "Success is 99% failure," and he meant it. To him, every broken part, every failed engine, every rejection was just another step towards success. In the 1950s, Honda's motorcycles began gaining traction. At first, Japanese consumers were skeptical, associating motorcycles with noisy gangs. But Honda flipped the narrative. He created reliable, stylish, and affordable bikes, marketed as fun and practical. His slogan? "You meet the nicest people on a Honda." The campaign was revolutionary, turning motorcycles into a symbol of youth and freedom rather than fear and rebellion. Sales skyrocketed. By the 1960s, Honda wasn't just Japan's top motorcycle maker. He was the largest in the world. His motorcycles raced across continents, winning competitions and dominating the market. But Honda wasn't satisfied. He had bigger dreams. Cars. When Honda announced he would start making automobiles, people laughed. Competing against giants like Toyota and Nissan seemed suicidal. But Honda thrived on proving people wrong. In 1963, Honda introduced its first car, the T360 mini truck, followed by the S500 sports car. They weren't instant global hits, but they put Honda on the map. Slowly, with persistence, Honda refined his vehicles, focusing on quality, fuel efficiency, and innovation. By the 1970s, the world was facing an oil crisis. Gasoline was expensive and consumers wanted efficient cars. Honda seized the moment. His Honda Civic, powered by the revolutionary CVCC engine, met strict emission standards in the United States without needing a catalytic converter, something no other automaker could achieve at the time. Overnight, Honda became a serious player in the global automotive market. From there, the empire only grew. Honda became synonymous with reliability, efficiency, and innovation. The Accord, the Civic, the CR-V all became household names. And Honda wasn't just about cars and bikes. The company expanded into power equipment, robotics, and even aviation with the Honda Jet. What started as a dream in a dusty village became a worldwide force. But behind the empire was always Soichiro Honda's philosophy. He believed in failure, not as something to fear, but as something to embrace. He believed in the power of play, insisting that engineers approach problems with curiosity and joy. He believed in teamwork, treating workers with respect, and encouraging creativity at every level. And most of all, he believed in dreaming big. Of course, his journey was not without setbacks. Honda faced recalls, market crashes, and fierce competition. But through it all, the spirit of resilience remained. He often reminded his team, "We only have one future, and it will be made of our dreams if we dare to challenge convention." So what can we learn from Soichiro Honda? That rejection is not the end, it's the beginning. That failure is not your enemy, it's your teacher. That no matter how many times life knocks you down, through war, disaster, or rejection, you can always rebuild. Honda's empire wasn't built on luck. It was built on persistence, creativity, and the courage to dream when everyone else doubted. Today, Honda Motor Company stands as one of the largest automotive manufacturers in the world. But behind every car, every motorcycle, every innovation, lies the spirit of a boy who once chased after the sound of an engine on a dusty road. So ask yourself, what's your engine? What's the spark that makes your heart race? Don't wait for permission. Don't fear rejection. Build, fail, learn, repeat. Remember Soichiro Honda, the boy who was once rejected by Toyota, but went on to build an empire that redefined mobility for the world. I'd love to hear your thoughts. What dream are you chasing that others say is impossible? Share it in the comments below. And if this story inspired you, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more incredible journeys of resilience and success. Remember, your failures don't define you. They refine you. And your dreams, no matter how impossible they seem, might just change the world.